So right off the bat, seating position feels really tight. It doesn't feel wrong or anything, it just feels a little crampy. It feels like the bike should have been a it feels like you're supposed to be like this, but you're not. I'm not sure I actually like that seating position, but yeah, mobility, that's a 10 out of 10. It's really nice. It feels easy to tip over. It feels basically like my MT-09 when it comes to agility. Maybe a little bit heavier to throw down. That's not by a lot, just barely. The noise this thing makes is pretty cool, and this is stock, so it has the same RPM limits as my bike. Well, I think it's like 500 more RPMs actually. Mine is limited to 11,250, and this thing seems like a right under 12, like 11.8, 11.9. Of course, I end up behind the slowest person in the world, so this is the 60 zone. No, it's actually, yeah, it's a 60 zone actually. So, and riding 2 lanes just to be sure. And get in front of that person before she knocks me down. So it's super slippery. The tank needs something to keep you stuck to it. Should be there has to be something. You have to stick something on there to keep gripping the bike, because you have no traction whatsoever. And the guy is coming a little bit too fast. Now let's go over. It up a bit. Holy shit. What mode? Oh, I'm in mode 3. Holy shit. Okay, we're going back to standard mode or second mode. First mode. Okay, here we go. Freeway fun. Please, minimal amount of people go down there. Of course, everyone's going down there. Okay, let's go. Oh shit! Woo. I barely touched it. Oh god, there's like a jolt of power. This is borderline crazy. Woo. Oh shit! Oh, not a lot of bikes makes me giggle. That's the MT-09 and this bike so far. Holy shit! Traction control came off. Can I set that lower? I'm not sure how to do that, so there we go. Oh. Oh my god! This thing is crazy! It's madness! Who makes this thing? Or I know who makes it, but I mean seriously. Oh my god, I want to lead a bike. Oh, I don't care that my legs are slipping. I would trade in my MT-09 for this in a heartbeat. Dude, this is just insane power. And it's like almost linear. There's a little bit of a jolt But that could be my, yeah, it's just me giving it too much gas too fast. Wow, this is a fun bike to ride. Holy shit. Screw the Nikken. If you have that much money, you get this. You throw that Nikken at anyone and you grab this with everything you got, because holy shit, this is a fun bike to ride. And it's so agile. It compared to my MT-09, it's pretty much the same. You do feel you have to give it a little bit of more of a push to actually get it down, but when it comes to like control and stuff like that, it feels pretty much the same. It's just, damn, this look, even low revs. Okay, it's first gear. Let's try third gear, 2,500 RPMs. Oh, it struggles. Yeah, you can't do that. Let's try, you gotta get rid of this downhill first. I'm gonna slow a bit down. But wow, this is probably the most fun bike I have ever sat on, and this is like the 20th bike or something that I am testing. You just look at the revs. This is a, oh shit, it does have power low down. It doesn't have like MT-09 power at like 3,000 RPMs, but it definitely has enough power. You're not gonna lack in power. The mirrors, they're the same as every other MT, I guess. They look exactly like mine. The brakes, let's test them out. Oh, they're solid. Yeah, you can stop on a dime on these ones. And flickability is like 10 out of 10. Incredible bike. And the sound, damn, that's a stock pipe. You put some aftermarket exhaust on this thing and it will be like riding a R1 without the fairings. Oh man, I want to trade in my MT-09 so bad right now, but I have nowhere near the money. So if I had the money, I would probably have gotten this in the beginning, but there's like I'm not gonna say it sounds like a turbo because it doesn't, but there's like a sound when you give it gas or give throttle. It almost sounds like there's a turbo on it, but I know there isn't, but that's just the impression I get. The stability of the bike too was actually pretty good. My MT-09 does shake a bit at like 120 kilometers an hour if there's a headwind. There wasn't much of a headwind today, so I didn't really get the feeling of that. God damn, this bike is crazy. Oh, you're gonna have a lot of fun if you get this bike. I mean, the only negative thing I can say is that you have zero gripability with your legs. This is so slippery that you, even when I'm squeezing my legs and I can still move my legs back and forth. So, but there is a bump on the back, so if you're giving it real throttle, you're gonna be stopped a little bit by that. But yeah, holy shit, this is a have a lot of fun bike. I can really see this bike in the really twisty roads being probably the absolute most fun you can have on a bike. I do not see any other bike beating this in fun factor, unless you're on the track, and even on the track I would put a lot of money on this being a very solid choice. Cool. Yeah, the engine gets really hot. It's like 102 degrees Celsius, 103, and I'm actually going. I'm not standing still here, so it does get hot very fast. I don't have the specs. All the specs will be written later. The clutch is really nice. It is a little bit heavy, but I think all bikes have pretty heavy. It's cable, and the cable brakes too. There's no pump. Or there is? Yes, there is a pump. Of course, there is a pump. This is a. Of course, it's not a cable brake. Come on, dude. Get a clue. So I think it's like 160 horsepower and some godly amount of Did you hear that? Damn. Damn. Oh. I'm never gonna look at my own bike the same after this. This is like the craziest thing I have ever been on. Oh, I don't want to leave. I just want to leave and never come back. Just steal this bike. Wow, this is fun bike. And you can, it does struggle a bit. It's a little bit uphill, about 3000 RPM, 50 kilometers an hour. You feel the bike struggling. It doesn't want to stay at low revs. You can do like my bike, you can easily ride third and fourth gear in 3000 RPMs. It wouldn't care. You can actually feel it pounding in the engine at that RPM here. It really wants you to shift up or down. But yeah, I would consider this a 10 out of 10 bike. Maybe I have 9 out of 10 because the gripping and stuff was a little weird and I didn't like the cramped seating position. But I can forgive that in an instant. So yeah, if you get this bike, congratulations. You're either gonna die happy or live happy.